Hey guys, welcome back to Z.M.S.C Model Works. I'm Zach, and it's been a little while. Life got in the way, things happened, didn't get a chance to do videos, but we're back, and today we're going to be looking at something a little bit different. It's still a model kit, but rather than being a car, it carries the cars, and it is the Galante Limited trailers. Now if you go on these guys' website, there are various different sizes, all the way from small box ones to, extended 30-foot trailers. And this is supposed to be between, 1/24th and 1/25th scale. So just a single car hauler in one of these, and perhaps some space up front for tools and whatnot. So we'll go ahead and do an in-box review on this. So here we have the instructions, which look like they were made in the 60s, but I can assure you the kit actually feels like it's something brand new. So, step one, we have assembling the axles, and then putting the tires and wheels on. And then we have the flatbed front half, and then moving on to the sides and the rear. We have several different options here. There's a cutout for this side door, so if you want to just put a flat trailer, you can do that, or you can have the door open and close. Add that little extra ambiance when you're taking photos. You'd also have the option for a ramp door, or the hint butterfly doors, as well as just one main ramp to go at the back. And then it also has the attachments for trucks and optional ramps to go with it. So pretty much a whole self-contained trailer that kind of fits every need, from pro stock to show cars, race cars, that sort of thing. But we'll go ahead and look at what's the inside the box. First thing we have here is our decals. They seem to be of good quality, and it looked pretty thin. I'm not sure how old this actually is, but decals don't look yellowed, and I've had this for almost 3 years because I'm like that. But they look like they're in extremely good condition. So various different license plates, car company names in black and white, depending on what color you choose, and of course a high-vis stripes as well. I'll probably be using these Galante Limited decals on it, and then there's a couple of warning labels as well. Next thing we'll look at is the tires. Just standard, Goodyears. These are specifically steel belted radials, so they're not a Goodyear Eagle that was just slapped in here. These are actually tread pattern for trailers and marked as such. I'll probably leave these just as they are. I won't bother painting in the letters. But yeah, the usual, injected vinyl tires. Get rid of the tabs and all that, and they actually turn out fairly nice. Moving on to some of the big pieces here. Now we have our roof here. On the inside, of course, there are a few ejector pin marks along the length, so if you wanted to clean those up, you could. The rivet detail here is actually very fine. The panel line, sorry, and nice crisp. There's what looks like I don't know if you can see that, but the plastic kind of mixing here, but there's no raised texture to that at all. It's all nice and smooth. The camera's having a hard time focusing on this. Next big piece here is the base, and again, some ejector pin marks underneath, but this is just going to be like a flat black, like a textured flat black, so I'm not going to be worried too much about it. The inside here is actually kind of like riveted dimples. So there's actually like a sink mark along where these individual diamond plate panels are placed, and that kind of adds some cool texture to it. It's got a very good diamond plate texture on this, if you can see. So that goes all the way around the edges. So you can do that in, a steel color, or if you wanted to color it, you can do that as well. I'll probably be using something like a metal polish or metal powder to highlight that. Next two big items here are the side panels. So there's the left and right. We've got the left side here on the outside, very, very fine raised rivet detail, which actually feels very nice. And the raised panel lines here, and the demarcation for the steel binding on the sides, which can get painted a different color compared to the rest of the body. And then on the inside, there's the attachment straps here for some ratchets. Quite a few ejector pin marks running along the sides, so those are going to have to get cleaned up and covered with primer, but it's fairly simple to do, just a tedious task. I mean, with parts these large, it's difficult to have the whole piece and not have the ejector pin marks here. That's just an issue with injected molded plastics and kit making. You could do this out of resin, but to make a mass-produced kit that's relatively cheap, I mean, these things are the equivalent of a model car kit. Yeah, it's just one of those things you have to give up for the sake of it. And I mean, it's just a little bit of cleanup work to do, so it's not too bad. Here we've got the front half. So this is our front here. Again, the same raised rivet detail going on with the hazard lights as well. And on the inside, I believe, yeah, it's just an empty sort of white space. Again, injected molding here we're going to have to get rid of before we actually build it. And then our flatbed to go with the back. So again, you can see here that this is one piece, and then you decide from the beginning whether you want this to be a ramp that opens out like this, or whether you want the doors to butterfly, and it gives you an indication to cut that down the middle and do it as such. I haven't decided which one yet. If you guys have any suggestions, I'd love to hear it in the comments. So, the last, I want to follow up the sprue here. Yeah, you have the option here for the these doors as well, and they're blank on the inside with ejector pin marks. And then we have here the side door with the template from the instruction manual here that you cut out and align on the actual body and cut out yourself. So you got to decide from the beginning whether you want to have a side door in or not. I'm probably going to put it in. It looks pretty interesting, a little bit of a challenge. Why not? Next one we have here is the wheel guides, as well as other various strapping to go on. I believe this is part of the ramp system. I could be wrong. Actually look at, yeah, so that's part of the ramp option here. So these are fairly stout ramps, quite long, basically the entire length of the trailer. So just make sure you have the space for it when you go to actually build it. Next kind of big one here, we've got our axles, which are just one piece. So a little bit of cleanup, black primer, pretty much done. And then the wheels actually clip on, they don't glue on, so they actually spin freely, and they're just a quick attachment. And we've got the rear ramp, rear hazard lights as well, part of the ramp system, and various little hinges to go along with the various doors that can open and close. And what I most likely will do is put magnets into them so that they can open and close, and then stay shut when they actually close and not kind of flop around. The next sprue here is the supports and the jack and the supporting legs. There's struts actually that go on the front half of the trailer. and a couple other hinges, as well as the tow hitch for whatever truck you want to use for it. And then finally, we have our rims and blocks here, and then the spare rim and tire as well. And there's no backing to this, so that can get painted separately as a rubber black or a tire black, whatever color you happen to have for it, and then you can match the rest of the wheels and rims with those tires. Now I'm assuming, because these look like standard 1/24th, 1/25th scale wheels, that rims might actually, from another kit, might actually work on them. So like American Racing, the 5-spoke bone rims might actually fit in these, which could be a cool alternative to just these you call it aero disc type ones here. And then they got a front and a back, which slide into the tires. The nice thing I noticed about these is, as you can see here, the tree actually kind of sits slightly off of the top of the rim. And then why is this good? Well, it means we can, we don't have to put these onto toothpicks or hold them precariously on taped plastic. We can actually just shoot paint straight onto the tree, which helps tremendously when you're doing like a mirrored finish or something like that, which most likely we'll be doing for it. And that's pretty much it. So keep your eyes out, because we will be doing a fairly quick build of this. It seems like a fairly easy, like there's literally five steps that consider final assembly, and then the bumper hitch and everything else is going on afterwards. And then I guess the two main sort of parts that are difficult to do would be the doors, which I think we'll just do the one ramp out the back, and then our optional side door, which that's basically it. Everything else is just quick paint and glue together. And of course filling in all the ejector pin marks. Fuck my life. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. Make sure to tag along, follow the build on my Instagram and here on YouTube. Make sure you click the notification bell when you subscribe. For whatever reason, the analytics suggest that because you don't watch my stuff that often, or you don't go searching for it, it gets lost in the YouTube. So if you could do that, help me out a bit, and that would be appreciated. So thanks again for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.